like full time. So that night when I just was crying to God about it, he told me to use your hands. And even though, people doubted me and they thought it was crazy, I knew that was my purpose in life. So I had to go for it.
Hi, I'm Carter Brown, and we are here with Rachel Sims, who has some awesome stories to share about how God has been working in and through her and in your work as well. So thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So tell me about school and what happened around middle school.
I was in a city school. It wasn't the best area. So they started homeschooling us for a little bit. Then after a while, times got hard. So I ended up finishing just the 6th grade and did not finish school at all till I was 19 years old. And then I went to go get a GED. Being in the 6th grade, I made captain of the cheerleading team. So for all of that to be, I feel like, taken away from me, it was kind of hurtful, but I still just kept pressing through. Not feeling like you're like the other kids and just not experiencing that life as a child.
Right.
So that was pretty hard.
So then after that happened, how did your life change?
Well, I was still always in church. So despite our circumstances with not going to school, we were still taught to put our faith in God and pray about things. So eventually I end up putting in an application for Walgreens to start a job. So I was just shocked that I got it because I'm thinking like, oh my God, I didn't go to school. They're not going to give me a job.
Right. So you started work around 19? Okay. And then tell me what happened from there. Like, how did you get your jobs and what jobs did you have after that?
So I started really learning the business and taking on that management role, not knowing at the time that really it was just all a part of God's plan for me to learn management positions. So I'm working and then I kind of got tired of it. So I ended up quitting there and I got a job with another company as a customer service rep. But that job ended up only being temporary and I got laid off. So that's when my purpose really started to kick in because now I didn't have a job at all. So I had to move in with my other 2 sisters. So it's like I'm moving in with them, but I can't help pay any of the bills because I don't have a job. My car had got repossessed and I just closed all my accounts because I didn't have any money flowing in because my accounts kept going into negative. So it's like that's just even more bills to add on. I didn't have a cell phone anymore because I couldn't pay that bill. So I kind of felt like everything was just stripped away from me. So one night I was just crying and I'm just like, God, what do I do? Because you know what I'm going through right now. And I just feel like I'm in this very tough position. My family is like, what's going on? I can't pay any bills or anything. Like, what do I do? So that night when I just was crying to God about it, he told me to use your hands. So I do have a lot of sisters. So we always did each other's hair and stuff. So I always knew how to do hair, but I didn't think to do it like full time. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to put an ad on Craigslist for $40 weaves and see what happens. So I put that ad out there and the next day people were actually contacting my phone like crazy. And I was scared because it's like, these are strangers. Like these are strangers contacting me. Like, what do I do? But God is like, I told you what to do and it's here right in front of you. So, use what I gave you. So I started doing hair from there. It was crazy, but I was just finally getting income in and that just made me happy because it's like now I'm building myself back up. In the midst of building myself back up, I end up getting a store management position. Now I'm back in corporate. So I was thinking hair was just a temporary thing, but the calls just did not stop coming. So now I'm a store manager. I'm managing a team and my calls was just getting so much that I was like, well, I don't really want to turn down this money. And then I do enjoy doing hair. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting a lot of clients from this. I need to take this more serious. So I went about to see about cosmetology school and to enroll in it. However, I couldn't manage a store and go to school. So I decided to quit the store manager position and go full-time into cosmetology school. My family thought I was crazy because they're like, you have a job now. Like, this is steady income. Why would you quit a store manager position to go to cosmetology school? And even though, people doubted me and they thought it was crazy, I knew that was my purpose in life. So I had to go for it. So I quit the job. I went up to my district manager who was actually at the store at the time. And I was like, I'm going to have to put in my 2 weeks because I need to go to cosmetology school and do hair. And she was like, what? Are you crazy? She was like, you're going to quit your job to go to cosmetology school? You're a store manager. I was like, yeah, I'm going to quit. It was definitely a lot of faith because going back to beauty school, I couldn't do hair as much either because beauty school is pretty much like a 9 to 5. So most of my income came from tips from clients that was there, and the tips were only like $5. But
no.
I used to be so happy with the $5. Like, oh my God, I have money to eat.
Thank you so much.
Right. So, and it was a few other girls in beauty school who was kind of going through the same thing. So that was pretty much like my support system there because we all would be like, oh my God, I got $5 tip. Let's go eat. We're eating out today. But, it's the little things and being thankful for that. I feel like that has also helped me along the way. I got up under a lady that had really helped groom me to be a better stylist and learn the customer service of the business and just how to be more business savvy versus just doing it in my home.
Yeah.
So I finally graduated beauty school and I started working at her salon full time. And then I would just grow more and more. So it's crazy. One day, one of my clients, she just kept moving around in the chair. And I had already got the feeling that it was time for me to grow and move on and leave out the salon and kind of go on my own thing. And so my client was like, she was like, I hope this isn't weird to tell you, but she said, I have to do it because God would not let me not say anything. She said, God said it's time for you to move. And I feel like I'm going to cry now.
Oh my gosh.
Because you just don't expect like people just out the blue to tell you that.
Yeah.
But she said, God said it's time for you to move on and get your own. And people are going to be upset at you, but you have to do what he says.
Right.
And I had got goosebumps when she told me that. And I was like, I've been feeling that too. And it's just so hard because once you get to like one spot and you feel like you're doing good, it seemed like God is like, all right, time to go. Like, let's keep on moving. It's just like, I just got here. But, yeah, I ended up leaving there and I found another salon to where it was just booth rent. And it was just so scary because it's like, oh my God, I have to pay them a certain amount a week. I feel like I don't make that much money. I'm just so comfortable on commission. But the whole time you just have to really listen to what God is telling you.
Yes.
So I had to start working there. In my first week, I think I was short and I didn't even have enough money for booth rent. And I'm like, God, well, you told me to do this. So I'm going to trust in you so I can pay my booth rent. And as soon as I prayed about it, I walked back into the salon and my phone started ringing to get more clients. So I was able to pay my booth rent and have even more money left over.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No. Do you want a tissue?
Yeah. Because I think a lot of it comes from, just being grateful. We may think our situation is bad, but once you pray about it and not dwell on it and just realize how God is taking care of you, you just really notice it.
Yeah. So you needed a car and God got you a car.
Yep.
Needed a place to stay and God got you that. Where else has God shown himself through your work and the things that you've needed?
There's just so much. Even a salon. So the salon I was currently working in, he wanted to turn it into a school, and he told us we pretty much had, I think, was close to 2 weeks to be out of the salon. And I was like, what? Where am I going to go? So I had to pray about that, and I had made a post on social media like, hey, does anybody have a salon suite that I can rent? Because we all had to be out of our salon, and I needed a place for my clients because my books were booked out for weeks.
Right.
And so I checked out a few places, but it just wasn't a good fit for me. And then I finally came across the place that I'm at now. And that owner believes in God. So just sitting down talking with her, and I can now see why I'm there under her, because she's just such a great mentor as well. So God, and she told me the first thing I need to do is put God first in my business. And nobody has really ever told me that in this industry. So that's been a huge help, and God has came through me for me with that too.
Oh, tell me what happens at your wash station.
Because a lot of my clients want hair growth. They know I'm a Christian, and I said it on my Instagram. I pray over my clients' hair because a lot of them may struggle with like low self-esteem because of their hair, or their hair just won't grow and they really want someone to trust. So I pray over my clients' hair when they're at the shampoo bowl for growth, and that they would just really love their hair.
I just got goosebumps because I remember when you said God said use your hands. And I'm thinking, is that a way that he wants you to use your hands?
Definitely, because I feel like when I'm like shampooing their hair like that, like I'm praying over it because I really want those hair follicles to really come up and just grow some more. So, and my clients love that.
I bet they do.
Yeah. Because everybody's like, oh, Rachel got those growing fingers. I said, that's because I be praying over y'all here. My walls hear so many different stories in my room. You really can be like a therapist for some people too, I feel like. And I'm glad that these people feel comfortable and safe enough to talk to me about it, and knowing that they can leave out with ease. In my suite, there's a lot of peace there, and they can tell that I have a relationship with Christ. So that's just a huge plus for me. And then in my suite, I have like scriptures up and just paintings that let people know that I believe in God, to really give them that atmosphere.
That's great. And then they automatically feel comfortable.
Yeah, they definitely feel comfortable.
So I know you're a woman that hears God's voice. What have you been hearing recently?
Recently, it's time for me to have my own salon, and just everything that I've been praying for years. So he would tell me to write it down, and I would write it down, and now it's just going out and putting in the action and the work for it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You've been working a long time for that.
I have, and I would say each time, like, even though I know God answers my prayers, I can't say it's always been easy to just jump out there on faith, because I still get scared sometimes, even though throughout my whole journey I've done it. And each time I've done it, it's like God would tell me, like, see, you have to trust me. So it's definitely a trust thing. But as I build my relationship with him, like I wake up every morning to really pray and spend time with God before I start my day, I can trust him more. So if like people are lacking with trust, it's because you really have to build your relationship with God and talk to him.
Right. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I know it'll be really helpful for a lot of people that are listening to it.